Okay, we are going to try this teleworking, telelesson today. So you guys are going to kind of experience this with me. I'm going to be sharing my screen and kind of going over some different things. And then I'm going to give you some time to do some of the activities that I've got planned for you. So I hope that you watched the video that I put on the very first thing for today. So let me share my screen. Let's see here. Okay. So hopefully when you got on your Google Classroom, you saw something that looked like this as far as your assignment. And so every day that I post something, so I'm going to be posting a math lesson on Mondays and on Wednesdays. So you already have what the schedule looks like. And I'm going to be posting a lesson that's going to take about an hour, give or take. It just kind of depends on what we're going to be doing for the day. So you'll see this says read right here. It says, please follow the instructions in order. Um, and so hopefully for number one, you've already watched the video. You have an idea that we are going to be classifying and looking at quadrilaterals today. Number two, obviously you're right there with watching this video and I'm going to kind of go over some different things that I'm expecting you guys to do as we go along. So let's look at the third number. Now this video, obviously you can go back and go back to it and look at different things that you need to in the video to help you with your work. So I'm going to click on this first link. All right, so this first link kind of goes over what is a quadrilateral. Now, third and fourth grade, you guys went over what quadrilaterals are, but we're going to kind of refresh and go over some different kinds of quadrilaterals for today. So, quadrilateral is a four-sided shape. So the word right here, quad, means four, and lateral means side. So it just has four sides. Okay, so in this website, you're going to see several different things. You have something where you can try out actually making different shapes. I'm going to come back to that in a second. But let's talk about the different types of quadrilaterals that we've either seen or we've dealt with. So rectangle, very first one right here. All angles 90 degrees. They all make square corners, as you can see here. And opposite sides are equal. So the top and bottom are equal, and left and right are equal. Square, once again, all are 90 degrees, and all the sides are equal. They're the exact same length. Rhombus, all sides are equal, so every single side is equal, and the opposite sides are parallel. Now remember, parallel, so this side and this side are parallel, and this side and this side are parallel, which basically just means that they are never going to touch. So let me see if I can actually do something here. This will work. Okay, so this side and this side. So those are parallel sides, and those are never going to touch each other. Let me see if I can actually make that a little bit. Let's see. A little bit skinnier. So there we go. Perfect. Boom. So those are never going to touch each other, and they're going to go on and on. Okay, so parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. So once again, this blue line and this blue line, my drawing's not the best, but those are never going to touch. And the opposite sides are equal. So red and red are equal, and blue are equal as far as their lengths. And then trapezoids, two sides are parallel. So you'll notice that this line and this line aren't. So watch what happens if I continue these drawings like this and like this. Notice how right here they cross. So it's not parallel. But if I look at the top one and the top one, those are never going to touch. Those are parallel. Okay. And then we're not really going to get into much of the kite, but you've got kind of what that looks like there as well. Okay. So if you keep scrolling down, you will continue to see all the different shapes that we just mentioned. So a rectangle, square gives you more information on each one. Rhombus, parallelogram, trapezoid, and the kite. Okay, so it gives you everything here. And then it gives you a chart of every single thing that you see. So you'll notice that a quadrilateral is going to be all of these different things because they all have four sides. So a kite, parallelogram, rhombus, square, rectangle, all have four sides. Trapezoid all have four sides. And then other things you'll see as well as it kind of goes on. So as you are looking at these different things, you need to look at the specifics that make it a certain shape. And you'll know that by you scrolling back up here and looking at each of the different shapes. Okay, so I want you to take a look at that for the very first thing after this video. Okay, let me go back. All right, let me go to now this site. So obviously you don't have a geoboard in front of you. Maybe some of you might at home. But I know I don't have one at my house. And so this is an interactive geoboard that's going to help you in order to make some different shapes. So let's say that I want to make a square. So let's think about a square. Let me go back here. All right, a square. So it has, let's see. Let me go back to this part. Okay, 90-degree angles and all sides are equal. All right, so I'm going to use yellow. So I'm going to put a rubber band right here. I'm going to extend it down 2 pegs. I'm going to do another yellow one. Oops, not there. Let's see. Let's trash that one. Right here. I'm going to extend it across 2 pegs. Another one right here. And another one right here. So you can kind of mess around with this, but notice how everyone has a, let me get my little pen here. Let's see. Okay. Notice how I have everything that's the same as far as the sides, and this makes a right angle. This makes a right angle, and a right angle. So that's going to be my square, right? So everything, all sides are equal, they're parallel. So this side right here is never going to touch this side. And let me change my color. And this side is never going to touch this side, right? So they're parallel on both sides. So that's a square. So you can kind of mess around with that. You can make a bigger board. So let's me do that. I can make a bigger board like this. And there's several other things that you can do. So you can kind of just mess around with this site and show exactly with what that is going to be. And you can actually do it as well. There's actually a pin here, and it'll pop up a screen right here. And so you can actually draw on your screen as well when you get to this site. Okay, so you're going to use this site to help you with the activities that I've posted here in this lesson. All right. Okay, so let's go to activity number 1. So you're going to see an activity number 1 is a Google Doc. So that means that when you click on this, it is going to create a Google Doc in your account. So when you click on it, it's going to pop up, and it's got some questions that you've got here for I want you to answer, and I want you to use your GeoBoard to help you answer. Now, you always can go back to this site right here to help you and looking at the different shapes and different things that it's asking you to do. But your GeoBoard right here is going to be the best fit. So I'm going to go back to the small GeoBoard, and I'm going to erase, let's see, all of these. Okay, let's see here. Let me move that. All right. Thank you for being patient while this happens. Okay. So this says I want 4 sides and 4 right angles and create on my interactive board. So you're going to go to your board, 4 sides and 4 right angles. Now I just did that, but let me do a different shape that has those qualities. So let's do orange. So I'm going to do one that goes down here. And let me go back and let me read it again. 4 sides and 4 right angles. Okay. Okay, so take a look at my shape. I've got 4 sides. So let me get my pin here. So 1, 2. Notice how 1 and 2 are the same size. And 3 and 4. Okay, so I've got 4 sides, and notice I've got 4 right angles. So I'm gonna do a different color. Not blue, let's do green. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so if I go back to my activity, notice how I still have my marks here, so I don't want to move my page. 4 sides and 4 right angles. I've done that, and if I go to look at, this is not a square because they're not all the same. This is now a rectangle because now my 1 and 2, notice how the 2 blue right here, 1 and 2 are the same size, and 3 and 4 are the same size. So let me clear my drawings. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to number 1, and I'm going to put my answer right here in this answer column, rectangle. Right, so when I put my rectangle, my answer right there, that is what an answer could be for number 1. Now, could a square work for number 1? It does, because it has 4 sides and 4 right angles. So a couple different shapes could work. So as you scroll down, you're going to notice how you have several different things that are here that you're going to answer. So look at this carefully and see if you can figure out what these terms mean. Remember, parallel means that they never touch, like railroad tracks. They go up and down, never touch. Perpendicular, right, make the right angle. They touch and they make the right angle. So for example, perpendicular would be this line and this line are perpendicular because they meet right here at this point. They make that square corner, that point. But numbers 1 and 3 are parallel because they go forever and ever and are never going to touch. Okay, so please look at that carefully, the terminology of parallel and perpendicular. Okay, so let me clear this so it's off the screen. And you got several here. So you're going to have 8 that you're going to do on your interactive geo board, and then you're going to put the answer. And yes, some of them will have multiple answers that could be correct. So please also go back here. If you're not sure of what something is, please go back and read it to make sure that you are doing the right thing and putting the answer that is correct. Okay? All right, so once you do that activity, you will turn that activity in to me. You'll just hit submit, and I will get it, and I will give you feedback on your activity. And then you've got another activity, activity 2. So activity 2 is going to come up here. You're going to type in your name, okay? So I'm just going to make up a name, right? Joe Smith. You're going to put your name in there, and then you are going to answer the following questions using your interactive board and using your quadrilateral charts and information that you know. So it says a square is a rhombus. So let's think about that for a second. So if I look right here, I can do it also here on this interactive chart that will help me, but I'm also going to go down here and I can go to this to see what I know about these different shapes. So, a square is a rhombus. A square has 4 equal sides. A rhombus also has 4 equal sides. But a square has 4 right angles. A rhombus does not. So let's go back to my definitions. All sides are equal. That's true for a square. Opposite sides are parallel. Well, that's true for a square. So a rhombus is asking me, let me go back and double check. A square is a rhombus. So let's see that again. It says, I'm all over the place. So let's see, does the square have the same ideas as the rhombus? So does a square have all sides equal? Yes, that's correct. Are the opposite sides parallel? Yes, that's correct. So I do know that that will be a square is also a rhombus. Okay, now if it was reversed and said a rhombus is a square, that wouldn't be true. Because if I go back and look, does a rhombus right here have the same characters as a square? Well, let's see. A rhombus all sides are equal. That's true, but it doesn't have square corners. So that wouldn't be true. So for this first one, I'm going to say always. So a square is always going to be a rhombus. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Trapezoids have one pair of parallel sides. Well, let's go back. This says two sides are parallel. So let's see. Well, know what I know about the word pair. Pair means two. So one pair means two sides are going to be parallel. So that's what my definition is right here. So I'm going to also put here always. So your goal is to try to figure out and scroll through the rest of them and try to figure out, is it always, sometimes that will be true, or that's never going to be true. And you can always remember, come right back here and look at this to help you with your different tabs. So when you're in your classwork, notice that you are going to go in order doing these different things, but you can always use all the different links that are here. And you can always come back if you want to see me again to help you with the different activities or to click different things in order to help you. So when you're done, you're going to turn in your activity 1, turn in your activity 2. I will give you some feedback. I can chat to you and give you some feedback online, and then we'll kind of just go from there. Okay, so my next lesson will be on Wednesday. I will give you another lesson, and you'll get another video from me, kind of going through what we're looking at, and kind of some helpful tips along the way. Okay, so I hope everyone's doing well out there. I hope you are staying safe, and you can always put something in the chat. You can send me a message, put something in the chat, or a question if you've got anything, and I'll be happy to answer it. So I will see you guys again on Wednesday.